there, Simon from simonwoods.com. Now, if you're looking for great Pinot Noir, where's the first port of call? South Africa's probably not up there among the first 2 or 3 places you think of, but I've got 3 South African Pinots here. Let's see how they are. They're all from south of the country, well, south of the Cape. So we've got an Elgin one, and then we've got 2 from Walker Bay, one of which is from a particular bit of Walker Bay. Anyway, this first one, Paul Kluwer, Elgin Pinot Noir 2009. I think they're all 2009. First thing I smell, quite big toasty oak. It smells like there's going to be a ripeness and juiciness, strawberries on that ever so slightly cooked strawberry edge. There's this the toastiness of the oak. It doesn't feel like it's gone over the top in the amount of oak, but maybe an amount of toast that they put on that oak. It's quite rich, it's quite ripe, and it's quite tasty. Just feels a little bit too correct. If I want, for me in Pinot Noir, you need a little bit of wildness, and I miss that there. There's there's this raspberry and plum juiciness, and yeah, the strawberries as well, but misses out on the sexy bits. Okay enough, and there's a little bit of that smoky South African bake in there, but not bad. Let's see what Newton Johnson is like. So this is Walker Bay is the general region, and Hemel in Arda, Upper Hemel in Arda Valley, is a ward within the region. So a more specific bit of Walker Bay. Last one says Walker Bay on it, but this is Newton Johnson. Now this smells a little bit more backward. It doesn't smell like it's trying to assault you. It feels like it's more something that wants to creep up on you. There's a juicy plum, red berry, and a bit of wildness in there, a bit of herbiness, and it feels like it's a wine that needs to come out of its shell a little bit. It smells good now, but I think there's a better wine to uncurl over the next few hours. But I'll try it now. Red berries, a bit of tomato in there, a bit of savoury, meaty juiciness. It's funny, on the nose I don't notice too much oak, but then when I taste it I get that little bit of oak framework that's giving some smokiness, ever so slight toastiness, not the toastiness I was getting in the Paul Kluwer, but again it feels like a wine that its best is still to come. It feels like it's going to creep up on you. It doesn't feel like it wants to assault you, but yeah, more of a creep up and tickle you, and or maybe creep up and caress you rather than tickle. But pretty good. I like that. A step up for me from the Paul Kluwer. Final wine. I organised them. They're all 2009 vintage. I organised them by the heaviness of the bottle, so which is a bit sad, but we shouldn't be impressed by the heaviness of a bottle. But let's see whether we are. This is Bouchard Finlayson's Galpin Peak, yeah. So this is the one that says Walker Bay on. I've just noticed that the heaviness of the bottle also corresponds to the heaviness of the alcohol. So we've got 13% with Paul Kluwer, 13.5 with Newton Johnson. We're on 14.5 here. And you stick your nose in, and this is the one where there's the most coming out. It's big, juicy, ripe, plush, plump berry, velvety texture it smells like it's going to have. Is it just trying to seduce you with extra alcohol? Well, it is quite seductive, judging by the smell. Let's see how seduced I am when I taste it. It is the brawny one, and yeah, it plums, really juicy, big, ripe blackberry plum flavour, and it's strange looking at it compared with a Newton Johnson. This is the one that has the immediate appeal. I wouldn't be surprised though to find that if I were to sit these wines down and come back to them in like 3 or 4 hours, whether the Newton Johnson will be the one that would creep up, whereas this might have gone ever so slightly bimbo-like. I don't know. It tastes pretty good now. I really don't mind it at all. A wine like this, though, I would people talk about serving temperatures. I would really almost chill it. I mean, if you've got a warm house, stick it in a fridge and get it down to half an hour or so. Just if you've got a warm house, just to get it down, because I'm tasting it on a nice warm day here, unusually, and but it does feel at the moment just that little bit too showy. I'm going to stick this in the fridge and try it later. As it is, it's still pretty seductive and juicy and plump and plush and ripe. Subtlety, I'm not quite so convinced about the subtlety there. If the subtle one here, it's a Newton Johnson. If it's a showy one, it's a Bouchard Finlayson. Nice balance, nice juxtaposition of those two. I think I tasted them in the right order. But which is better? Personal preference. I think at the moment I would drink the Bouchard Finlayson. In 4 hours' time, I wouldn't be surprised if I come back to Newton Johnson. See you soon.